Alrighty. So we've got a good one here. It should be a good one. Dustin Jacoby versus Maxim Grishin. Maxim Grishin, he's only 37. You know, he's getting up there in age. Got brought into the UFC very late. He has that kind of style that, you know, he doesn't really rely on speed or anything, so it shouldn't affect it too much. But still, you know, getting up there. For Dustin Jacoby, he's joined a good camp. Since I think it's Factory X. I want to say Factory X. It's Mark Montoya's camp, so whoever that is, I think it's Factory X. But yeah, he's got a good camp, good head coach in his corner. He's come back to the UFC after about 8 years or something like that. He's been, you know, circling around the kickboxing circuit recently. He's versed some of the best kickboxers in the world. In his time off, he had, I think, 2 fights with Alex Pereira, or maybe 1 fight with Alex Pereira. Like, it didn't go his way, but, you know, that's the top level, that's the top tier of that weight class in kickboxing. So, you know, very impressive. He's come back to the UFC, come had a second run. He's looked very impressive since then. So we'll break down the striking of these two now. Alright, so Justin Jacoby is obviously, he's got a kickboxing background as we talked about before, so, you know, he throws a lot of good kicks. He has a good leg kick in orthodox. When he switches to southpaw, which he will do, frequently switch stance, he'll go for teeps, the body kick, because he'll switch southpaw when his opponent's in orthodox, so he can open up the body kick and stuff like that. One thing I noticed with Maxim Grishin, he also switches stance quite frequently as well. When he's in orthodox, he's moving to his right, and then if someone cuts off the cage for him, or cuts off the direction he's going in, he'll switch stance to southpaw and then move to his left. He doesn't seem to be comfortable moving to his right in southpaw or moving to his left in orthodox. So yeah, something like an experienced kickboxer like Jacoby will definitely take advantage of, and yeah, we'll see how that kind of plays out in the fight. But also, for Maxim Grishin, mostly he's looking for that counter two, pretty much in either stance. He's got a fair bit of power behind it. You know, he tries to walk you onto that counter two. He'll in the process, he will back onto the fence. So yeah, it can be kind of clinched up against the fence, or, you know, let opponents kind of stall him on the fence, which has pretty much been the bane of his career, especially in PFL. Like, every opponent was just doing that to him. But yeah, he does have good takedown defense on the fence, but still, it's just, you know, you're letting opponents just stall on him. Another thing with Maxim is that he will try clinch up when his opponent closes the distance very aggressively. And when he does get into that clinch, he'll look for the Muay Thai plum, and, you know, on the clinch break, he'll look for a hard elbow, or if he's looking to disengage from the clinch, he'll look for a hard elbow or a hard straight right, or a straight left, because he can go from either stance. But yeah, generally he's looking for that, so Jacoby does have to watch out for that just on the clinch break. But also, you know, Jacoby, his head doesn't move off center line too much at range, so, you know, he does need to be careful of the counter two coming back, because yeah, that's pretty standard with kickboxers that, you know, they don't move their head, they keep that high guard, they tend to do a lot of their striking defense with their arms, because generally they have, you know, bigger gloves than 4 ounces. But yeah, still, just something I noticed in the Ledet fight, he didn't move his head very much at range. Ledet was hitting that jab on him. But yeah, so everywhere else he's pretty good. He's pretty good on the feet. Alright, so is there anything else? Nope. Alright, so in the grappling, I don't think Jacoby will want to take it there, but maybe Grishin might. He's got a nice hip toss in the clinch. He might look for that if he's having trouble on the feet. But in general, on the feet, yeah, I think Jacoby wins it a lot more than Maxim Grishin does. Alright, and how these guys win their fights. So for Jacoby, he's got a very nice all-round kicking game. His leg kicks are devastating. We saw that in the Justin Ledet fight. I think he landed like under 10 maybe on Ledet. Like, it was through halfway round 1, and Ledet just couldn't take anymore. He crumpled pretty much. But yeah, so you know the kicks they're pretty powerful, especially when he's coming from that kickboxing background. But yeah, he's also patient as well. He doesn't rush the finish because he's so comfortable on the feet. It's like that Adesanya quote, like, he's like, you know, I don't force the finish just because well, I don't force the finish on the ground because I'm so comfortable on the feet. Like, that's kind of what I see in Dustin Jacoby, is that, yeah, he's so comfortable on the feet, he doesn't really need to take it to the ground at any point. He's just fine with piecing you up from distance. For Maxim Grishin, he's got good footwork for a light heavyweight. He can get caught near the fence. The footwork does bring him near the fence at times, but, generally, he's pretty light on his feet for a big guy. Also, his takedown defense is good on the fence, but yeah, allows his opponents to stall. That's the other double-edged sword of that. So, how these guys lose their fights? For Maxim Grishin, he can allow opponents to control him and control the pace of the fight. They will stall, he'll let them stall pretty much, but yeah. He's also very low volume. He doesn't really mix it up too much, he just throws that counter 2 and a few kicks here and there, but he just doesn't mix it up very much. For Jacoby, he slows in the third in, high-paced fights, so I think the cardio is pretty even in this one, to be honest. Maxim doesn't push a huge pace, and yeah, I just don't think it will be that impactful here, or, have that much of an impact here. So past the victory for these guys. So for Dustin Jacoby, get those leg kicks going. When he goes southpaw, open up with a body kick. If he's going to try and clinch up, if he's going to start reaching and stuff, look for that straight knee as his closing distance, or, when it does get in the clinch, if he looks for takedowns and stuff, look to punish him in the clinch with knees and elbows. But pretty much keep it a distance for the most part. Get that jab to get him leaning back, because Grishin does lean back to avoid strikes. So, when he's leaning back, his legs will be straightened out. You go for the leg kick there. But also, he throws that flying knee every now and then, does Jacoby. So I prefer him not to do that in this one, just because he could end up on bottom with a massive guy like Grishin on top of him. So yeah, I just wouldn't recommend that. So for Maxim Grishin, past the victories, return the leg kicks, get some respect with the leg kicks, because you have pretty decent leg kicks of your own. Obviously, one check and it's over from Jacoby, but, you got to get some respect somehow, either a counter 2 when he's leg kicking, or return the leg kicks. But also, look to get into a clinch, look to make this a grapple-heavy fight. When you get in the clinch, go for that hip toss. But also, if he's just going to keep popping out that jab, look to get the read on that, look to get the beat on when he's throwing it, and then counter with that counter 2. Alright, so the way I see this one going, I just think Jacoby's going to be, landing the volume. He's going to be, landing the volume with his kicks, compromising the lower half or anything below the head, pretty much, of Grishin. I think he hurts the body, hurts the legs. Grishin tends to keep fights on the feet, or that's where he likes to keep the fights, so I think, he's not going to go heavy on the grappling in this one and try and get in the clinch and stuff. I don't think he's actively going to try and get Jacoby to the mat. I think he's just going to be a little outgunned here on the feet as well, so I just don't see Grishin adapting to it, and I think he may go out in a shield, on the feet, but also I just think he'll be tough enough to last a decision, and Jacoby's not someone who's going to force the finish, so I think this may go to decision as well. So my prediction is Jacoby by decision, and I'm kind of interested in what that line will be when the props come out for this fight, but let's look at the money line for now. Alright, so pretty much everyone's got Jacoby as a sizable favourite at the moment. Anything over $1.65, in my opinion, is value on Jacoby. I'm not rushing to bet Grishin at any price, really, because I don't think he puts his, he doesn't hustle for your money, really. He'll kind of just let the fight come to him, whereas Jacoby's going to bring it to his opponent. So, yeah, I'm kind of waiting for Jacoby to hit $1.65 at my local bookmaker, but if you can get $1.65, where you are, go for it, because I think he wins this fight at least 65% of the time. And yeah, I'm waiting for that decision line to come out. If it's like $4, something crazy like that, I'm going to jump on it. But yeah, anything above $3, probably Val.